beans for breakfast.
Irn Bru.
The phrase fooling around.
What the feck is salad cream?
Hey guys, I'm Eric.
And I'm Grace. We're the Wandering Ravens.
We are a couple of American digital nomads who have been wandering around the world for over 3 years, and we make videos about British culture.
If that's a topic that interests you, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell icon so that you can get notified every time we release a new video.
Today we are going to be introducing you to 10 things Americans don't understand about the UK.
And we're going to be starting with, why is it such a big deal if someone leaves their tea bag in and drinks their tea with the tea bag? I like my tea strong, guys. Is there a problem with that?
The tea one is a personal one, free. It's a free one from us. But for the other 10, we're going to be turning to Reddit. Using our limited knowledge of British culture, we're going to do our best to answer these queries from fellow Americans, but maybe there will be some here that we ourselves don't understand. And in that case, you guys get to jump in and answer those for us. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do this.
Let's do this.
What you say? Oh, that you only meant.
I'm gonna have to go with digestive biscuits. It sounds like something I'd give to my dog if he ate a crayon.
This is one that we can answer because we've had the same question. The first time we went to the UK, I saw digestives there for the first time, ate them for the first time, was blown away by them because they are so delicious, especially when dipped in coffee. I'm more of a coffee dunker than a tea dunker.
Oh no, you're gonna be getting the hate.
And from what we understand, digestive biscuits were actually marketed as a digestive aid back in the 1830s, so, way back in the days of miracle cures and all that sort of stuff. Is tea lunch or a snack a whole separate meal, like breakfast, lunch, tea, then dinner?
We found tea to be a very confusing thing when we first went to the UK, and since then we have come to this conclusion because we have heard different definitions of tea from different people. Our guess is that the definition is regional, so based off of where in the UK you are, tea or tea time will mean something different to you. So question for you guys, what does tea mean in your city?
Of all the times I heard British people actually talk about tea, very few of those times were they talking about literal tea bag tea.
Yeah.
It was the meal or a snack or something like that.
Yeah, even for pets food, they would be like, oh, I'm just gonna get the cat's tea or something like that. I heard them referring to tea for the animals too.
So even the pets get tea time.
Feckless. I asked a Brit friend about it and only got, it means without feck.
We actually just learned about this one in our last video, which you can watch right here. It's about 25 obscure Britishisms. In that video, we had no idea what feck meant, but down in the comments, people answered our question about it and let us know. For example, this one here says, feck was first used in a sitcom called Father Ted back in the 80s, but it might be Irish slang as it was set in Ireland. One of the characters would say it instead of the F word, so it could be used in a family show, and now it has taken on life of its own, still used in the same way as a euphemism. And other commenters let us know that feck is actually legally, there's been a court case about it, it is not an obscene word, not a swear word.
Oh.
So it's a kosher, perfectly safe family word.
I am adopting this. This is my new favorite word. I couldn't give two fecks.
Salad cream.
What the feck is salad cream?
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, there's no guesses in my mind. Cream doesn't typically go on salad.
Salad dressing, maybe. Is that what you guys mean? Salad cream? Salad dressing, like ranch or Italian?
Or maybe this is talking about the stuff that goes in fruit salad. So it's like a fruit salad.
So the sweet cream, which is put in fruit salad. As you can see, we are very confused by what salad cream is. If you know what it is, and if this is actually a British thing, drop a comment down below explaining the salad cream situation for us.
Told my American coworkers I was fooling around with a 19-year-old. Look on their faces was priceless. Source, I am in my late 30s, grew up learning British English. Fool around equals joking.
Oh dear, yeah, this is a pretty bad one.
Yeah.
But this also reminds me of the phrase knock up. We've heard a lot of British people tell us stories about times when they used the phrase knock up with an American, letting him know that they would wake them up the next day or call at their house the next day, only to be very rudely scolded or
met with psh.
Yeah, because for those of you who don't know, the phrase knock up in the United States means to impregnate.
What? Did you just grow some boobs?
I grew a baby. And back to this original Reddit comment. So the phrase fooling around means to engage in sexual activity. So basically this British gent was telling his friends that he was engaging in sexual activity with a 19-year-old. Beans for breakfast.
Having beans for breakfast is really rare in the US. Most Americans don't associate beans as being a breakfast food.
Yes, except in cases like I've mentioned in previous videos where if you grew up in a family that was influenced by Mexican culture or Hispanic culture, beans for breakfast are a big thing there. And so, for example, my family was very heavily influenced by Hispanic culture, and so I grew up eating beans for breakfast. Although they weren't baked beans, they were refried, mashed beans, whereas in the UK I know it's the baked beans on toast and stuff like that.
Both sound really good to me. Like, I'm a fan of those savory breakfasts, so I would have either of those and I would be a happy girl. Irn Bru.
Ooh!
I mean, I'll drink one for the novelty of it, but it's basically bubble gum soda, which just doesn't sound appetizing. Has all the single malt just scorched the taste buds off of the whole of Scotland?
Great timing on this one because we just learned about Irn Bru a couple of weeks ago in our video about UK adverts versus American adverts, which you can watch right here. We still have never tried it though, so bubblegum soda, does it have kind of a bubblegum flavor?
Yeah, I had no idea. That I assumed that it was kind of like carbonated cider sort of a thing, or kind of with a beer-ish taste. So to hear that it's just bubblegum flavored soda pop,
so
that's
it's just
much
like,
different.
Do let us know what Irn Bru tastes like down below. Also, thank you to everyone who corrected our pronunciation on the last video where we mentioned it. We were saying Irn Bru.
Irn Bru.
Irn Bru.
Or something like that, which is embarrassingly wrong.
Yes, it is Irn Bru. We know that now, so thank you. What's in it?
That's a type of belly button, isn't it?
It's an innie, in it.
It's an in it, not an out it. From what we understand, in it is just a contraction of isn't it? Isn't it? In it to win it. No.
No.
How you lot manage to have swearing, boobs, and racial stereotypical humor in your media and nobody gets bent out of shape about it. Americans get pissy if Starbucks has the wrong color cup at Christmas.
Ooh.
That's true. That
do.
happened a couple years back and I had no idea what it was about. I was like, why?
It was the war on Christmas.
Wait, what happened?
They used to have festive colored cups that would say Christmas, and then the next year, they just said plain red, and it didn't say Christmas. And then people got mad about that. They took it as an offense against Christianity because they thought it was Starbucks trying to not say the word Christmas or associate with Christmas because it has the word Christ. It's you gotta connect a lot of dots
To get there.
Yeah, we gotta make drama in the States. So the issue of censorship, or lack thereof in the UK, has two independent stereotypes, although sometimes people believe them both, in the United States. On the one hand, a lot of Americans believe that anything flies in the UK, so full frontal sex on television, gratuitous swearing, and the rudest of the rude types of humor. Very rude humor.
Bigly rude.
Bigly rude humor. But at the same time, a lot of Americans believe that the UK has extreme censorship with their hate speech and libel laws, where you'll be in prison for saying the slightest off-color thing about a minority, or you can be imprisoned or fined for saying bad things about a politician. So those are the two big stereotypes in the US that we have about censorship in the UK. There's either not enough or there's too much. And sometimes people believe both.
I know, that's what I was gonna say.
And this is an issue that we ourselves have not looked into yet, the censorship laws in the UK, for example, the hate speech, libel laws, as well as what's allowed on TV, because we don't watch that much TV. But if you feel it in your heart to take the time to educate us, do drop a comment down below explaining that situation to us. How extreme are the libel laws and hate speech laws? Are they as bad as a lot of Americans think they are? And is British TV as liberal and loose in what it allows?
And crass.
Yeah, and as crass as we think it is. Not we, but, Americans. Thank you for sharing your insight. When I flip through the channels and see a British show on PBS, I can never tell what the setting is because of the way people dress and the vehicles they drive. oh, this looks like it's set in the 70s, I think to myself, and then someone takes out their cell phone.
Yeah, I feel like we've encountered this problem too. We may have had this problem the other day when we watched, we actually watched a Faulty Towers episode, and we filmed a reaction video for that. Unfortunately, it was not allowed on YouTube due to copyright laws. But I feel like we had that same issue with placing the setting of Faulty Towers.
But we thought it was a lot older than it was. And we've had it with other shows as well, like Dairy Girls and other things like that, where we'll start watching a show and we're like, oh, this is either current or it's, oh, this is from the 60s or before. And we're just way off on our time scale.
We didn't get Dairy Girls placed as to when it occurred until we realized that it was set during the Troubles. And we were like, oh, that's why we haven't seen any of them pull out smartphones yet.
Yeah. I thought it was current for a long time. I didn't pick up on that it was the Troubles for a while. Partially because we were getting the hang of the Irish accent.
That's true.
We did have to use subtitles.
That was embarrassing.
I'm sorry.
Why is lieutenant pronounced lieutenant?
Yeah, why is that? But who are we to talk? Because we pronounce colonel as colonel.
That's true.
Do you guys do that too? You guys started the term soccer, and now you make fun of us for using it. Come on, UK. Football is obviously a sport that you play by throwing a ball with your hands.
Get it together!
Real quick, before we share our favorite comments from the last video,
a huge thank you to our patrons Andrew McKendry and Leah Grace. We couldn't have made this video without you. Also, Leah Grace, you have a very, very beautiful name, if I do say so myself.
Okay, time to read you guys some of our top comments from the last video, which if you haven't seen it yet, do watch it. It is right here. In it, we introduce you to 25 of the UK's most obscure Britishisms. First off, thank you so much to everyone who took the time to answer our questions in that video. For example, John G, who let us know that knackered refers to the knickers yard, where horses would end up at the end of their useful life to be reduced to fats and bone, meal, etc. So to be knackered is to feel like a retired horse. And
so sad. That's so sad and morbid.
A lot of other commenters let us know that this is where the classic glue man, the knacker man or something like that, would come to take the horse away and butcher it and turn it into glue. So if you've seen Animal Farm, you know about that. One of the characters gets turned into glue. Also, if you guys want to know how to piss off an entire country in just one move, this is how.
Santé.
Santé. Please don't unsubscribe.
Also, thank you to those who shared the colorful backstories to some of the slang that we mentioned. Like in this comment here, I was told by my English grandparents that mutton dressed as lamb came originally from some less than honest butchers selling mutton as lamb.
Ah, so see, it's like dishonesty. They're dressing up as something that they're not.
Yeah. So I'm assuming then lamb must be more expensive than mutton. Because if you're disguising mutton as lamb.
I thought mutton was lamb.
I mean, I think it is. It's just a different type.
Maybe mutton is older sheep and lamb is
like a baby. Tender.
Babies are always worth more. Next up, a lot of people share the backstory to the slang phrase job's worth with us. I don't know if you knew this already, but job's worth comes from the phrase more than my job's worth, meaning I won't break the rules because I'm worried I might lose my job, and my job is worth more than that to me. So someone who values their job over wife, family, house, everything else, it's a job's worth. It's a stickler.
Also, thank you to the commenters who let us know that the proper pronunciation was reckon and not reckon, as we said before.
Yeah, we were saying round the reckon, when really it should have been round the reckon.
Round the reckon.
Sounds a lot better, actually.
Also kind of smelly.
A little bit smelly. So is it a smelly hill? Another mistake we made was with giving an example sentence for the slang phrase near the knuckle. In our example sentence, we said that you could apply it to wearing inappropriate clothing, like where a dad's like, you're not going out of the house wearing that, young lady, it's too near the knuckle. That is actually incorrect because as a lot of people let us know, well, actually, I'll just read the comment. This is from Joe, and Joe says, I'd say near the knuckle is more referring to someone who has said something in bad taste, like a dark joke about something or someone, and it's deemed too soon. And a lot of people let us know that yes, near the knuckle has more to do with off-color humor and jokes than with clothing or things like that.
And lastly, you guys seem to really enjoy Eric's accidental euphemism. about mowing old ladies' lawns.
As a way to get knackered. There's no better way.
Yeah, so we thought we'd read you out one of the funny comments from someone who appreciated Eric's humor. From Jason, we have mowing old ladies' lawns. I think we should adopt this one. Additional, the females can use trimming the old man's hedge. This is, of course, just made up.
See, that's one of the perks of subscribing to this channel. We don't just talk about the English language, we invent new English as we go along.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to everyone who left a comment on Saturday's video. As always, learning from you guys is the highlight of our YouTube channel. It's basically the reason we make videos. It's so much fun to learn from you in the comments, and we can't wait to see what you have to say about today's video.
So get on those keyboards, but be nice.
Again, I'm Eric.
And I'm Grace.
We're the Wandering Ravens.
And if you want to help fund a new shirt for Eric, consider joining our Patreon. We have a Patreon goal that once we hit it, we will actually go out and buy Eric a new shirt. So if you are sick and tired of seeing this man in this maroon shirt, link in the description. Go check out our Patreon. Also, we post vlogs, behind the scenes footage, and a lot of community posts over there. So if you want to get in on all of that, make sure that you join us over there.
And if you enjoy British culture content like this, do make sure you hit subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get notified every time we release a new video about British culture. We will see you guys next time. Bisous!